So hi, everybody, and welcome to today's embodied stretch and flow class. This is a slower pace class, and this is for people who have maybe never done Pilates before, or for people who have been studying for a long time and just want to kind of land in the body and find more connections to the core slowly. It's just a slower pace. Today's class is a donation class for the Community Action Center here in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And if you're watching this video and the replay and you have a Community Action Center in your neck of the woods, wherever that is, I just invite you to check them out and see if you can contribute by volunteering or donating, anything you can do to support your community action centers. They're doing such a great job right now, so needed. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. What you'll need today for this class is a chair, and you'll need some kind of stretch out strap or band for some of the leg stretches that we're going to do. If you don't have that, that's okay. You can use your hands, no problem. Okay, so come have a seat. And just kind of find a nice lift in your spine and whatever that means to you. And I started with lifting, but really we're going to start by landing. So land in your chair, find your pelvis landing, and then all the way down into your feet. And then we'll start a little friction. So while you're frictioning your hands, you're just building some chi energy, some life force energy, and start frictioning up your arm through your biceps, triceps, and into your pecs, all around the tissue of your chest, and then back down. And then we're going to come from the pinky edge of your hand up the side back of your arm again, top of the shoulder, inside of the arm, back down, other side. So frictioning. Oh, my left hand's not as coordinated as my right hand. Ah, interesting. And then coming down. Friction, friction. So there's layers to the body. We have the skin layer, and then we have the fascia, and then we get into the muscles and the bones and all that internal, the internal movement of breath and blood flow through the tissue. So now we're going to squeeze the muscle on the side of the arm and just start to move your arm while you're getting a little squeeze. And then up onto this upper back, kind of squeeze into those upper back muscles and pull it up and then drop it back. Squeeze and pull it up and then drop it back. And then we'll go to the other side. Just kind of work your way up, squeezing into the tissue and move the muscles while you're getting a little squeeze. So you're getting the blood flow and the water element. We're trying to move into the liquidness of the body, to move out of the stiffness, right? So we're gonna lift the shoulder, pull it up and squish it down. And we're just squishing through the tissue like it's a sponge, and you're cleansing the tissue with every breath you take. You're enhancing your body's ability to release toxins from the tissues. Now we're gonna take up on the chest, just get a little bit of, you're gonna make little circles with the skin and the connective tissue on the top. And over to the other side. Now we're going to pull down and look away, and get a little, and then squish up into it. Get a little bit of a stretch through the skin and the connective tissue under the skin and all the way into those bones. I find a lot of people get really tight through here and through the chest, and then just find different pathways of squishing and gliding. It should glide. Do the other side. Glide it down and lift your chin up and away. And do that again. And you can make circles. You know, the body loves to move in circles and spirals. And so if you find a pathway that feels like it's opening to you, that's what you're looking for. Where's the body opening? All right, I'm going right into my shoulders. And then we're going to move those elbows forwards and move your rib cage backwards and breathe into your back body. And then open your chest and let your shoulders drop down as your chest rises up, and go again. And let your shoulders fall as your breastbone lifts. The sit bones are grounded. And then we're going to bring it down to the sides of the body with the hands and the ribs. And then into the back, we're going to friction. So as we're frictioning, this area back here gets really tight. And if you just move the skin over those muscles, and the fascia is getting a little warmed up, because in Pilates, a lot of times we're going to be moving our spine in many different directions. We're wanting to have the flexibility of that spine. So if you warm up the tissue by frictioning, It moves so much better. Now a little tapping into those kidneys. I like to make sounds when I do that. It reminds me of when we were kids. Yeah. Now we're coming down to the glutes and a little clapping or pocking. I have my hand just like that and just giving a little bit of energy to the glutes on the side of the hips and back of the hips and down the side of the legs. I can feel that vibration moving all the way into my bones, coming down, coming back up the inner, and we're going back down, pock, 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 and back up. And already we're going to have more energy flow and more movement in that internal body. So let's get to your feet. So say hello to your feet. How often do you actually say hello to your feet, right? So we're just going to feel the grounding under the bones, the heels, the toes, and we're going to flex those toes up, put a little bit of weight on the outer edge of your heels and see if you can feel a response in this outer part of the hip and thigh and the lateral part of the body. Put your big toe down and then all 10 toes down and do that a couple times. You can look down while you're doing it. Just look for how when your heels go to the outer edges of your feet, something changes inside the pelvis. And then big toe down and then all the toes down. Off. This needs to go off. Okay, sorry about that. And one more time. And then once you get that last one all the way down, finding that sense of landing in your feet, bring your body back up to the top. If you have your band handy, this is a great place to start adding the band. So we're going to use this for a couple of different things. We've got that grounding in the feet. You've got that awareness of landing. Let's take the band. If you don't have a band, don't worry about it. Just use your hands. We're going to go around the rib cage and get a little bit of a wrap and go right into some breathing. So the first one, I'm going to keep this kind of tight around my ribs and I'm going to breathe down low into my belly. So the belly is going to expand and I'm trying to breathe below the band. Exhale, pressing the air out. The invitation to breathe into the belly slowly through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And just do a couple more. Really let your feet stay heavy. Your hips are heavy. And the softer you become, softer in the shoulders, softer in the neck, landing in your feet, landing in your pelvis, you're going to feel this soft expansion of the breath, just bringing all your attention to that area. Now we're going to switch your mind focus a little higher up into the heart, up in this area that we were waking up, and in the upper back. So we're going to bypass this middle area where the band is and breathe all the way up tall. Relaxing on your exhale, but still feeling that support from the ground. Every breath you take, just get a little softer. Notice the sensations inside your body, like a soft balloon expanding across this upper breastbone and between your shoulder blades. Just see how soft and gentle that can be. The gentler that you are up there, what happens is the body starts to open more. So force is not always a good thing, right? So less is more here. Now we're going to right where we have the band. So you're going to breathe directly into the side of your ribs. Inhale right in. And exhale. And we go again, inhaling right into the sides of your ribs. And I'm just going to come closer to you so you can see how much I'm trying to move through my rib cage. The band is there just for a little feedback. And once you've experienced these different parts of the body, we're going to add something. We're just going to add all of them together. And it's almost like simultaneously you're going to breathe from the diaphragm, which is right here, this part of your diaphragm, all the way up and down the spine. So you're just going to breathe through the whole thing and hold your breath when you get to the top. So it looks like this. I'm going to softly hold my breath, relax my shoulders completely. And on my exhale, my feet are heavy, my belly deepens, my neck gets tall. Inhale from the center out. Exhale, drop the shoulders and grow. That moment of holding at the top of your inhale, relax everything, and then exhale. Do that a couple more times. Take your time. Next exercise. So this is an exercise, this is a breath and movement meditation. We're going to keep what you just did. We're not losing it, taking it with us for this next exercise. Just put your band on your thighs at first and your hands on top of your thighs and hinge at your hip joint and lean out as you inhale. Feeling all those parts all the way to the cranium and all the way to the sacrum, expanding. And when you exhale, stay there. Relax the shoulders. And then do it again. Inhale. I'm looking at a camera. I'm looking at a big screen TV. That's why I'm looking up, in case you're wondering. I'm going to look more at you now. And then on your exhale, you're going to push through your feet to bring it back up to the top. Good. Inhale to lean out, and your head and your tail grow. Your sit bones widen, and your feet take more weight. And then from your feet to your pelvis, not your quads, you come back up to the top. And just play with that a couple of more times, breathing into the whole spine. And then use the grounding to bring you back to the top. And on the next one, we're going to stay just a little bit longer. Inhale just a little bit longer. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Find your sitting bones widening back as you lean out from the hips. On the next one, we're going to just relax the shoulders. When you're ready, you're going to use your exhale. Exhale, feet to deep belly, bring you back to the top. And then stay at the top. Let's put this band around one of your foot. And it could be a stretchy band or a tie or a belt or anything like that. What we want to do is give a little bit of support under one foot. So we're just going to take the ball of the foot, and I like to spread out as much of the band as I can under the metatarsal part of the foot, right to the ball of the foot. And then push the heel away from you. But when you push your heel away, and I didn't say it earlier, but you should be really forward on the front of your chair, because you don't want your thighs to be interrupting your ability to hinge. Then you're going to get a great stretch. So let's bring this band just towards the elbows by your sides and shoulders falling down. We're going to inhale, do that same breathing. Exhale. See if your heel can just reach a little bit more. Now notice my knee is not locked straight. It's a little bit bent, and I'm going to breathe in as I push down through my heel and grow through my head top. And then exhale, I'm just softening my knee a little bit. I'm going to inhale and push and grow. Exhale, connect. So it's the same breathing we did before. Now we're going to add something. Inhale, exhale, return. That's all we're adding. Big surprise. Inhale to lean out. Ooh, get a little more stretch. And then use the grounding to return. So you land in your pelvis, embody your body. Inhale to reach out. And exhale, return. And if you're hinging purely from your hip joint and your sit bone is rolling back, your heel is lengthening down, you're opening pathways through the fascia from your head to your feet. If you're just bending at your back like this, you're not going to get the essence of the stretch. It's not going to go through the whole body. We're trying to open up those pathways through the whole body. Let's change sides. Okay, so bring it other foot. The standing foot stays. Find that posture. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale and lean out. And once you're there, once again, check it out. Is the alignment of your toe in line with your knee? I forgot to say that earlier. The knee is slightly bent. And then inhale as you lengthen, push your heel down into the mat, slowly lengthen your knee and grow your crown of head away from your heel. Exhale, release the knee, but keep your heel reaching. Inhale, push, lengthen, and exhale, release. And you know what? I don't even know if I should say the word push. I should say the heel is reaching away from the sit bone. My head top is reaching towards the ceiling. I don't want to push. I just want to lengthen. And then slowly bend the knee. And on the next one, we're going to stay out there a little longer. Keep breathing. Stay a little bit longer in the leg, a little bit further out in the hip joint, reaching, and then exhale to return. So you really find your angle, the angle of the stretch that kind of glides. And when we're stretching, there's a lot of consciousness to stretching, but stretching is very different than release work. So we're going to do a little bit of both today. So let's take it into a, let's put the band away. Take your feet out to the side. We'll get a little bit more into your spine and your inner thighs. And let's place your hands just right in your right inside your knees. Find your heels again, lateral heel, big toe, and then all 10 of your toes. Press into your hands with your inner thighs isometrically. You're gonna feel some connection come right into your core. Keep those shoulders placed nice and wide. And breathe, of course, through that whole total torso breathing. Or we're gonna put your hands on the outer, I call it the cranial sacral breathing, because I can really feel when I'm breathing in from that diaphragm all the way up and down my spine. And I'm adding isometric energy to my outer legs, waking up this whole area. And then come back into the center, take a breath. Look for the lift, connect to that inner. Big toes are down. Find the big toe connection that comes all the way up into your core. And then place your hands on the outer, push out. Find the heel connection into the ground and into the sides of your hip all the way through. Comes all the way to the crown. And now press a little bit more and lift your chest forward, lean out. But this time I'm going a little bit into an extension. Coming over, round out, and then push down into your feet, pull up through and come to the top. So from the head top to the tail, I'm gonna stretch up and out. The chest rises, the sacrum kind of lifts up and forward, and then tip at your hip joints to the degree that you can move from the sacrum coming forward. And when you cannot go any farther in your hip or your back, that's your limit, that's where you go. And then round it over, curve your head and look under your chair. Find your feet. Press through your feet and deepen this connection right under your navel. Restack your spine. We're going to go one more time. So your hands are heavy, your feet are heavy, your chest rises. The sacrum comes forward, right in that sacrum lower back. Just move, just gently. And then when you round it over, get a little release in your neck and your head. So you're not working. Your head is dropping over, but your abs are lifting up. Press through your feet. Return to the top. We're going slow so you can really feel all those parts. Now we're going to just go a little diagonal. Lift your chest to the right thigh, find your feet, and curl your tail under, roll to the top. Lift, turn to the left thigh. So we get a little diagonal through the back. And find those feet and pull it back up. And we're going to go to the other side again. Inhale. So just leaning towards the right thigh. Grounding into the weight of your feet. It's not that I'm pushing hard with my legs. I just want to make sure that you get that. But I'm activating the awareness in the bottoms of my feet and toes and heels so that something deeper happens up inside here. And when we're working with resistance in the Pilates practice, that relationship between the extremities and the core is always being activated. We're trying to communicate through all those parts. Okay, so let's take it to a little lunge. So this is just, we're going to turn sideways in your chair. Have a sit. 1 foot back, 1 foot front. And if you're not in a chair and you want to do all of this, you can do all of this next part just standing if you want more challenge. So we're just going to work. Yeah, so this chair is for support, but you could totally do it standing. So you want to find your grounding, and you'll get tired if you're standing, and then you'll just, you know, rest when you need to. So we're going to take the arms forward, the pinky fingers are up and the feet are grounded, and you're going to just curve in, and you're opening up those pathways from your back through those arms, and then come around, turn your thumbs down, let your head turn upside down a little bit, and come around, lift your chest. Hopefully your chair doesn't have too much height here and you can glide through it, not find your way around. So we're opening and coming through, lift up, lift, 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 lift. And then just take your, if you're sitting on your right hip, put your right hand, find a place on the chair to hold. Just get a little bit of a lift and center. And we'll do 3 times. And inhale, lift and center. And one more, lift and center. Bring your arm all the way down and turn to the other side. So you'll find that place where you're right in a 90-degree, getting a little thigh opening here. Find the grounding through both feet. Get really lifted and the arms come forward. And we just get a little curve. And then the thumbs go back. The thumbs pull around. And the pinkies come around the chest, rises up. And roll it around. Open up your hands. Curve your spine. That's it, Sarah. You're really working hard. And then come back to the middle. Place one hand down on the chair, other arm up. Get a little side bend. So you can see it's a little side and a little side. And one more. And all the way there. Now, let's come up to standing and take the chair down away. And from here, actually, we're just coming pretty close to the bottom of the hour. So I'm just gonna have you do a little standing weight shift, and then we're gonna go back to the ground for some more release work. But this posture, see how I'm leaning forward into my toes, I'm spreading my toes out and leaning off the plumb line. Then I come back to the plumb line, and then I just slightly drop into my heels. I'm trying to keep my toes down though, not arching my back. I'm looking for the back of the legs to drop, but there's something deep that happens in the core. Woo. And I'm gonna go again, just leaning off the plumb line. Find the heels down and all the toes. Try not to lock your knees back. Be a little loose in the knees or soft in the joints. And let the weight distribution go to the back of your heels without lifting your toes. See if you can feel how the back of the hip drops and the front of the pelvis rises. There's a down the back and an up the front energy that we're looking for here. And we'll just do one more time. This is just an exploration of the tensegrity, the connective tissue, the tension and strength, like a tent in your body. It's very, very, very wise energy, this fascial connection. This is an invitation for you to play with that throughout your day. If you're having trouble with balance, all these little weight shifts in Pilates can really help you with balance and control out in the world. Safety first, right? We want to have a very aliveness, always working on staying flexible and able to go up and down the stairs. Just get on the floor and off the floor, right? So we're coming down. We're going to use the stretch out stretch. We're going to attempt in 3 minutes to show you the difference between stretching and releasing, okay? So take the band under one foot and one leg down. You're gonna bend that top knee a little bit, and the bottom leg is lengthening down on the mat. And on your inhale, remember the technique we did. You're inhaling through your whole spine, from your head to your tail is filling up with air. Extend your heel up towards the ceiling, straighten your knee, and on your exhale, release the joints, soften the shoulders, and sort of feel the sensation of just melting and letting go. But there's still a grounding point. My bones are finding connection, landing. Inhale to push through the heel, lengthen the knee, and grow your head top to tail. Exhale, release, melt the shoulders, let the belly soften in, and find your bones. And one more time. Grow for the length. This time we're going to keep the leg long, keep the breath flowing at your pace and cross center, and then open out. If this is, you don't have to have a straight leg, you can have it bent, but find the pelvis positioning. Pelvis positioning is neutral the whole time. So in other words, I'm not going to tuck like this. If your body's doing this, you've gone too far, and you want to get that pelvic positioning neutral as you're stretching and opening. Finding the breath into the back of those lungs. And then last one, just bring that leg into your chest. Give it a little high. Cross the ankle over the knee, over the opposite knee. Just give a little stretch for your glutes. A little rock and roll. And then unfold that little pretzel. And we'll put the other foot in. So the breath is the secret sauce. I'm going to say it's the secret sauce, but it's really the technique of that makes or breaks your ability to release. So stretching is dynamic. So we're going to inhale and extend. And then you're pushing, there's that word again, but you're lengthening and reaching through the bones, through the fascia. And then when you exhale, soften your shoulders, let your ankle, your knee, and your hip joints soften. And keep those bony landmarks in the ground. Inhale and grow from the center out through the crown, out through the pelvic floor, and bend. Every breath is another opportunity to just see what else you can discover about the way that you hold tension, or the way that you can be just a little bit softer in the breath. The more soft you can be in the breath, the more the body is going to find balance when you're not holding. Let's go ahead and do a little bit across the center and open. And as you're crossing and opening, there's a sense of grounded. And when we say grounded, it's the bones that are landing. Where are you falling? Fall into the mat behind you. Fall down and back. But keep a sense of length. Your core muscles across your abdomen are going to help you. And then we're going to bend that knee in and give it a little stretch. And coming back over to your side. You're just going to come up to sitting or standing, actually, because you're coming. This half hour went really fast. That's one thing about the way that I teach is it's very slow, and it's really because my nervous system needs a little bit of time to land and feel things. And so thank you for joining me today for this little stretch and release class. There's so much more we can do together. So, and this video recording, please feel free to share the announcement on Facebook or whatever, because all this month of December, we'll be sharing this for the Community Action Center, and donations go to help families in need. And this video you can use it over and over as often as you like. And we just ask that you donate and help others while you're helping yourself. Thank you.